You are listening to Balloon Killers. I'm your host, Chrissy Riley, and each episode I'll be talking to someone from the world of cowboy mounted shooting, which is one of the most exciting and fastest growing equestrian sports. Hold on to your hats because it's going to get western. Hello everybody. I am still riding that high of a great week in Vegas. It was so good to meet so many of you in person and to put faces to names. And thank you to everybody who came over to tell me that they're enjoying the podcast, because it really does make the work worthwhile. I also had a great week on Mr. Bear. We shot clean. And I just love that feeling when things start to click and you can feel that the horse is understanding his job. And that started to happen in Vegas. With each stage, I felt he grew a little bit more confident. You'll be unsurprised to know that as he smooths out, I'm finding shooting so much easier and also so much more fun. And I have a lot of high hopes about what we can achieve together in the future. I wanted to share with you something amusing that happened to Mr. Bear and I last night. We shot in a demo at the Boulder County Fair and Rodeo in Longmont, Colorado for the Colorado regulators. And because we were shooting right before the main rodeo, we wanted to really jazz up the crowd and get them excited about mounted shooting. So Eli and Mike Parsons, who have experience with planning Wild West shows, dreamed up the idea of a race. So we had 2 people in the arena at a time, and there were 5 balloons on the left side, 5 balloons on the right side. 1 person ran the left side, 1 person ran the right side. So we would run up and shoot all 5 balloons and then run back, or you could actually run up and not shoot and run back and shoot the balloons on the way back, which some people did. Well, I was racing with the club treasurer, Joan Goodell, who's also a very good friend of mine. And we started out and everything was great. Our horses were stretching out. We were getting some speed and we were both shooting clean until we got to the very end of the arena, to the barrel where we were supposed to make the turn. Right in front of both of the barrels was a chute full of steers. And both of our horses shoot in this arena a lot during practice when there are no steers at that end of the arena. So both of our horses screeched to a sudden halt, and we both had to work through the chaos of getting them round the barrel and back down the other side. We both managed it. Mr. Bear was less straight about his return to the finish line because, of course, his spidey sense was up after seeing those sneaky steers that weren't usually there. And so he thought monsters were all hiding on the other side of the rail. And so on the way down, he pretty much half passed us all the way past the finish line. But it was a lot of fun. And if you want to check out the video, you can see it on the Balloon Killers TikTok. My guest for this episode is a 5 times consecutive AQHA Youth World Champion. He was the 2020 CMSA Reserve Rookie of the Year, the 2022 CMSA Futurity Champion, the 2022 College National Finals Rodeo $10,000 Shootout Champion, the 2023 Reserve CMSA World Champion, and the 2025 Western US Championship Eliminator and Shotgun Champion. He's also been the Cavalry World Champion twice, and he was the youngest CMSA Men's Level 6 in the history of the sport. Anyone who watched the post-showcase show live from Vegas on Facebook Live won't be surprised about this one, because I mentioned on that I hadn't interviewed Turner Thompson yet. Good morning, Turner.
Morning.
It's pretty early. What time is it for you?
It's only 8 o'clock here. It's not terrible.
It's 7 a.m. here, but I like the early mornings. This has been a big year for you. Tell us about that.
I got done with Worlds in last October, and I had a really good World show. I was lucky enough to get my 5th AQHA Youth World Championship there. And then after Worlds, I went home, and the day I got home, started going to the gym. We played basketball for 5 to 6 months. We had a really good season. I think we had 19 wins out of 22 games, and we went to the state
Nice.
tournament. So that was good. We got to the state tournament. We got seventh. So, but we had to play the best team in the state. So it was no matter what, just getting there. We weren't supposed to get there, and we did. That was really good. Basketball ended, and I started shooting trap and working. Trap is like what I'm honestly probably better at trap than I am mounted shooting. That's my sport. So I trained all season for the state tournament. I was really lucky. I got second at the state tournament. I shot 99 out of 100, which really wish I could have shot the 100 out of 100, but I'll take the 99. And then a couple weeks later, I went to the national tournament in Mason, Michigan, and I did really good there. I got 12th in the nation out of, I think it's the top 1,800 shooters across the nation. So I mean, it was a really cool deal. No one from South Dakota has ever placed that high, so it was a really cool deal for me. Really big milestone. I really wanted to do well out there. I think I shot 328 straight, which is, I mean, that's pretty good
Wow. That's
for a high
incredible.
schooler, I guess.
Yeah.
And then our team did really well too. We had two people PR, and we ended up placing ninth in the nation. And the best that a Groton, which is where I go to school, is Groton. The best that a Groton team had ever done out there was like 36th or 37th. So that happened. And then I came home, and now I'm working. I'm working as an agronomist for a company called Aligned Ag, and I really enjoy it. And I have a really cool boss. And in the future, here in about 2, 3 weeks, I'm going down to SDSU, South Dakota State University, and I'm gonna study accounting and egg business as a double major.
Congratulations. That's a lot for 1 year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And I also saw you in Vegas and you rocked it in Vegas as well.
I did. So I had a really good Vegas. I was not expecting much. I hadn't really been riding because of the basketball, straight into the trap shooting and into the work. Because it was my senior year, I took all that stuff really seriously. So I just went to Vegas to go have fun, and it went really good. I actually had never won an eliminator until Vegas, so it was a really cool shoot.
How long have you been mounted shooting and how did you get into it?
So I started at the end of 2019, and so 6 years now. I got into it because when I was like 8 or 9 years old, my parents got me a horse named Knick Knack, and my mom she started mounted shooting a little bit before that. Was never interested in the mounted shooting at all. And she got me this horse. He's a reiner, and he came from Nebraska, and I was in love with the horse. So my mom was like, "Well, you're gonna start riding now." So we went to, it was called the Will Lantis Memorial in Spearfish, South Dakota. I rode as a wrangler, and I think just about everything that could have went wrong. I mean, it was bad. I don't think I was inside of a gate cone. It was just bad. I Let's just say I didn't ever want to do it ever again after. It was terrible. And so I went to that shoot, and I was a sore loser. And I mean, I was already shooting the guns at home because like my dad let me, they practiced a lot at home. So I was already
Mm-hmm.
shooting the guns, and I was bored of it. And so I was like, I'm done with this. I'm not going to do this Wrangler stuff. Like, I'm tired. I would rather go do something that I can compete. So my mom actually put me into reining. I reined with Jason Sattler at Sattler Performance Horses for a good amount of time. I think 4 years or something. And I did it all with Knick Knack. We did very, very well. We won the nation high point for the 10 and under class because I was only, yeah, I think I was 10 when this was happening. And then
Mm-hmm.
I went to the world show in Oklahoma City, and I got second in the 13 and under class. That was really cool. It was raining was forever ago, and I miss it every day, but that was kind of my background. And then I got to 12 years old, and I was totally in love with the reining. I never wanted to quit. I was having a blast, and my mom was like, "Okay, well, you have to come try this shooting for 1 year. It's your rookie year. You already have a CMSA card. You can shoot. You got to try it for 1 year. If you hate it, you can go back. If you love it, you stay." And I was like, "Okay." And it really wasn't up to me. She was making me try it no matter what because I
Uh-huh.
probably would have stayed in the reining. So I started shooting then at the end of 2019, right when I turned 12 into 13, and it was a struggle. I did not do very, very well off the rip of mounted shooting. And I had a lot of really good teachers and people because I was chasing for rookie. I stayed with a lot of high class people.
Mm-hmm.
And I started learning from there, and that's kind of how I got into it.
How did raining prepare you for mounted shooting?
I think reining is the best background anybody can have. I rarely shoot at home practice wise, but I'm always focusing on my riding because I believe that if you're connected with your horse, that's going to help you way more in the arena. Reining is a judge sport and it's all you and the horse. You're making them do maneuvers. I mean, you're working on their control, like your control with the horse. You're both being judged as a rider and the horse is being judged. I feel like I'm known in mounted shooting a lot for not so much in the arena, but out of the arena. I mean, you look at some of the people in the arena. You look at Dylan Lawson when he's in
Hmm.
the warm up arena. Like Clifford is a different horse in the arena, and he's a hard running horse, and he's probably one of the best horses in mounted shooting. But if you've ever watched Dylan in the warm up pen, that horse will be loping with his nose on the ground. I'm kind of the same way. My horse is not the level of his, but my horses will lope with their nose in the warm up pen on the ground, and then when they get into the arena, they're different. So the people that watch outside of the arena, it's just the control you have with your horse. I think being a good rider will get you farther than being a good shooter in this sport.
Have you ever gone back to reining since?
I've went to a couple shows with Jason, my trainer. We've always joked about I can still qualify to do the rookie and the non-pro division for the Run for a Million. I've never tried to qualify for it yet. I ride reiners all the time, and we train all of our horses to be reiners, so it's still a big part of me. It'll never really leave. I would love to balance both and do both. I know that's obviously not probably in the cards as I go to college here, but in the future, I mean, it would be nice to do both.
Particularly if you maintain all of the sports that you enjoy doing as well as shooting and reining. That's a
Yeah, yeah.
lot.
I don't know. I mean, I know I'm gonna do an intramural basketball team in college, but trap and like mounted shooting, I know is gonna stay in my life forever. It's just how much I can do it over the next 4 years is it's almost sad because I wish I could just drop out of everything and just be a pro mounted shooter. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I feel exactly the same way. It take me a long time to get to the pro part, but I'd love to do it full time. You talked a little bit about riding with some really high level people in your rookie year. To who or what, so horses or people, do you owe some of your success in mounted shooting?
So the first one's definitely going to be Knick Knack, that horse that we got. So when I started mounted shooting, I did not start on Knick Knack. I actually rode a horse named Jack. He got me to a level 2.5, two and a couple wins. And then I actually ended up taking this horse named Jinx to a shoot because he was on the road so much. So we went to a shoot in Missouri and I took Jinx and I did really well on her. So I actually swapped to her and I rode her for the first world show. But then my mom kind of told me, she was like, if you don't start riding Knick Knack, we're gonna have to sell him. So then instantly I'm like, no, that's my horse. So I started shooting on him and he turned me into who I like. He's the one that built my name in mounted shooting. I have two AQHA world championships on him. I have a reserve Western championship on him to Zane. He's a very special and talented horse. I wish I could have got him into it sooner so he could have a bigger name, but because I don't ride him anymore. He's a really small horse for those that have seen him. So, and I've gotten a lot bigger. So, he's not being rode anymore, but I think my sister, and this might be a spoiler alert, and I don't know if it's gonna go all the way through, but my sister actually just started riding him a couple days ago here. He was in the pasture, so she's gonna try and get him to Worlds so she can ride him. As far as people go, first off, who I stayed with over the course of like the last 5, 6 years, the Llewellyns and the Rosses are the big two families. Mike Llewellyn, Sabrina Llewellyn, Adam and Sheila Ross. They hauled me all over. I mean, all over the country from Virginia to Oregon. I mean, it was both ways equal miles, and they did not care if I could get there. They housed me and they gave me advice too along the way. It was great becoming the shooter I am. Paul and D Chapman gave me a ton of advice when I went and stayed with them as a rookie, and I'm so surprised they talked to me because I was terrible when I was with them. My mouth was out of control. But like Paul Chapman is the one that taught me all about lines, and he was like, you don't need to be the fastest, but if you can ride aggressive and do this and do that, and he kind of taught me that you can shave off time here if you cross the timer straight, all that stuff that you never would have thought about. He's the one that taught me that. So Paul Chapman's definitely as far as my aggressiveness in the arena. The Worleys. This is kind of a silent thank you because a lot of people do not know what they do for me. But Tim and I mean all three of them, Tim, Kim, and Sammy, all do a ton for me. But Tim and Sammy is constantly. If you ever see Sammy Joe Worley at a shoot, she is on my horse, riding around, typically more than her own, which is probably not okay. But she is. Me and my sister both. We both ride a lot of horses. Like usually, the two of us will take 7 to 8 head to a shoot. and we're riding all the time and shooting all the time. And Sammy
Hmm.
Joe is like the first person to show up at our stalls no matter what time of day it is, and she'll help us ride all day. And then Tim will put his life on the line to get me. If any of you guys have seen me ride a horse named Cat, she jumps up in the air, and oh, she's gotten a lot better. She used to be worse, but Tim will put his life on the line trying to get that horse into the arena for me, and love the guy for it. I don't know why he does it, but he definitely have to thank him. And then a couple other people is my family. I obviously would not have the opportunities to go do this shooting without my parents. I didn't have the pockets to pay for this as a kid, obviously 12 years old. And they sent me all over and gave me these experiences that most kids will never have. And they don't know how much I appreciate it, but I really appreciate it. I mean, I know that the sport is not cheap. And then my sister, both of them, but Taryn especially. Taryn has, especially this year, has put all the time into the horses for me because I've been working and doing all this and trap and all this other stuff. She's been riding my horses for me. So Vegas isn't even an option to go to this year if my horses aren't in shape. Taryn's put a lot of time and investing into me because she wants me to shoot just as much as I do. And so when you can just be like, hey, can you hop on Nick Nack, or hey, can you hop on Kaboom, Cat, anyone, and she'll go hop on them for me for an hour and just go ride them. So those are there's a lot of people I am forgetting. I mean, because I can go down the line. Like my competitors push me a ton. They're the only reason I'm to where I'm at. Zane and Dylan and Brett and all those guys. They're the only Adam. They're the only reason that I'm as good as I am. And like Kalen Garland, oh my God, he's seen me mentally break down. He's always been a really good friend to me. Trevor Llewellyn, when I first moved up to a six, I had the worst shoot of my life, and he went into a stall with me, calmed me down, told me that other people's opinions don't matter and just go out to be me. And all of a sudden, my shoot turned around. So everyone that's ever cheered for me, talked to me, videoed me, recorded me, all of it has played a big role, and they'll never know how much it means to me, but it does. They all play a big, substantial role in my mounted shooting career, but just who I became as a person.
You mentioned Taryn, and you and she are clearly very close. There's a video that's been doing the rounds of, I think it's Taryn's move up dance at Vegas. You have to tell us about this. Was this something that was choreographed?
Aaron and I, when I moved up to a six, it was at a shoot in Nebraska right before Shelbyville, or it was Murfreesboro at the time, Tennessee, right before the Eastern Championship. And I was like freaking out because it was my last one. I wanted to do something cool. And so Taryn showed me this whole like handshake that she had. Like she never did this handshake with anyone. She just had it. And so she showed me, and then I was like, how can we make this cool now? So we added that spin and throw at the end, and we did it as a joke. Like we practiced it a ton. So Taryn moves up to a six, and I told her good job and everything as soon as she got done. I sent her a text because I was in the arena working, and I actually did not see Taryn again until that at awards. That was the first time I saw her. She walked up to me. They're reading off the class winners, and she's an L5, and she's gonna get the move up. And they're on the L3s, and she walks up to me and she's like, "Do you remember what you did for your move up dance to a six?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Okay, we're doing it. We did one practice. We did, and I didn't throw her up or anything. One practice. We went out there, and yeah, I was really happy to help her. I'm really proud of the kid. She has not had it easy. For those that don't know, Taryn's dislocated her knees, I think a total of 6 or 7 times. Between the two of them, she's been through the ringer with horses. So to to be how brave she is to keep getting on these horses after all of that.
What's the win that you're most proud of and why?
Oh, I could not choose between the two, and actually, I think I'm gonna say three. My most proud ones is probably the 2022 Futurity. We got her name's TF Highbrow Flash. She's from Travis Quarter Horses in Iowa. I was at the Travis Quarter Horse shoot, and it was later in the year when we got her when she was 4, and we bought that horse at the Travis Quarter Horse shoot. I rode it for the first time. I ran one stage on it. That was the only time I had ridden it, and I told my mom, I was like, "This horse is special. We got to get it." So we bought the horse, and we took it to the futurity, and I think I had 9 rides on it in total between riding, because I was riding 6 head and I was riding other horses too. I think I had 9 rides total on it. Went to the futurity, and we actually were lucky enough to win it. So that was definitely the biggest win in my mounted shooting career. The other one that I have down, and a lot of people don't even know that this existed, They used to do a $10,000 shootout at the college finals rodeo, and they invited 10 of the best shooters in the world. The second year I did it, like the old like Chad Little was there, and a couple big names. I was lucky enough to get that one. So the second year I did it, and it's I mean it's a high class shoot. You roll in there, and it's a rodeo. They give you 10 minutes. We had to run two stages, 10 of us. The winner takes 10,000. The rest of us get nothing. Me and Bivin. The year we went, they paid two spots. Me and Bivin were one and two, Bivin Chapman,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I mean it's high class. You roll in there first place 10,000, second place 5,000. The rest of you get nothing, and it's like $1,000 to enter. And it was, I mean, it was a lot of pressure, especially to go in there. And some people are really mental game in the arena. I'm really not, thankfully, but some people are very. You need to be like closing your eyes, breathing. You can't really do that when there's gate guys yelling at you and you're up. You ran and you're up in 2 minutes, and you got to load your
Mm-hmm.
guns in between, and you're trying to give your horse a breather and loosen the cinch, but you really can't. So that's another one. And then the final one, and I don't really know if this counts as a win, but in 2023, I think it was 2023, I was reserve at the World Championship, the for CMSA to the Almighty Zane Chun. I was 2/10 behind him over 5 stages, and I would like to say that the guy's in his prime. So that was, I mean, I didn't win, so I don't know if it counts as a win, but I've never been so proud of my horses. We went out there, we held it together for 5 stages. We even slipped on stage three. I don't know if that changes the outcome of the shoot or not, but I've never been more proud of how hard we ran. I've been very lucky at the World Championship multiple times, but they ran really well for me there. So to take Zane 5 stages, 2/10, I was pretty happy with that.
Those are some really significant wins for your age. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've obviously traveled around a lot doing this shooting thing. What's the one shoot that you don't like to miss each year and why?
So there's two. The first one, I think everyone says it, Vegas. Vegas
Mm-hmm.
is Vegas. You can't replace Vegas, but that's not my favorite. That's my second favorite. My favorite shoot ever, and I'm really sad. A lot of times I can't make it. I think I've had to miss it 2 or 3 times because of trap in the past. But Joe Secretaria's shoot in Litchfield, Nebraska, that is by far to me the cool. I mean, you really start to see people's true colors out there because you get out there and there you don't have service on your phone. You kind of get away from social media for a couple of days. You talk. I've never played so many card games. I mean, I love playing cards. It's like one of my favorite things to do, and I get to do it with all the adults, and you just conversate, and people stay out until midnight hanging out. And it's, I mean, Joe's a one-man show, so sometimes the shoot gets moved back. If it rains, he can cancel it, he can push it. I mean, it's just a really cool deal. And then everyone's down there cooking out on his grill and sitting around and talking, and it's a really cool environment for those who have never made the drive. It's a cool shoot. I love it. I was really sad I didn't get to go to it this year because of trap. I was at Michigan, but April is also really,
Oh,
really
she's
cool.
lovely.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great family. It's a great place. Justin helps a lot out there. I know their son, but it's a really cool environment. I'm really sad I have to miss it as much as I do. I definitely see me going to it in the future since it's in the summer. I see myself going to Vegas and Joe's a lot over the next 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably my favorite shoot of all time.
That one's on my list as well. I've heard a lot of good things from a lot of people about that shoot.
I mean, especially if you catch it on a year it doesn't rain. He also usually they do something like on the side, some type of fun event. Like the year that I went there, they did a quick draw, and I won the quick draw competition. It was with a rifle. You had to shoot two. You had to shoot a shot with your pistol, holster it, pick up a rifle on a barrel, lever it, and shoot the second balloon. And then there was a trail competition one year. There's a lot of cool stuff that happens out there. A lot of the points chasers will tell you it's a great shoot. You have to dry camp and all that. Your
Mm-hmm.
horses are not I mean they're in stalls, but you're outdoors.
Yeah.
Some people are not about that. I personally love it. I think it's awesome.
The idea of switching off from social media for a while also sounds quite wonderful.
I mean it's weird too, especially me. My life is, I mean, it revolves around my phone,
Yeah.
sadly. I wish it didn't, but it does. I could not live without my phone if I'm being honest. And Um, I mean, you just get out there and you get away from it. You can get service a little bit, but not enough to, like, you can't go out there and watch a YouTube video if you want. So I mean, if you have something go wrong, you better hope there's someone there to fix whatever problem you have. But
What's your favorite pattern and what tips do you have for running it?
So my favorite pattern in mounted shooting is the chair. If you know what one that is, I don't know that I used to know the number on it. I don't know the number on it anymore, but the time is all in the barrel. It's how far you can take the fourth shot and then the barrel. And me being left-handed, which is why I like it so much, my horses turn to the right way better than the left because I can pull back to my hip. A lot of the time in mounted shooting, just in general, most courses is in barrels and turns. I mean, if you can
Hmm.
find it's a lot of people are like, oh, how fast can my horse run? It's really not all about that. You look at the best shooters in the world, Zane and Dylan both. They both have horses that can just absolutely wrap a barrel and use their body. I mean, it's impressive. And so in my opinion, it's all in the barrel on that stage. So whatever you have to do to, everyone turns a barrel differently. I turn a barrel different than a barrel racer would, and they turn a barrel different than a cutter would, and they turn it different than, everyone turns it differently. It's just figuring out what works for you. And aggressiveness is one other thing. I mean, I like to think of myself as an aggressive rider. I'll take quite a bit of long shots. So, how far you can stretch your shots and then turn that barrel and not miss your gun change too. That's kind of the high level. But honestly, with how shooting's been going lately, for everyone, especially Vegas, kind of opened my eyes. Shooting your balloons, that's a good tip.
Hmm.
I mean, I know you were clean at Vegas, weren't you?
I was
Yeah.
clean at Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, I was not. I think I had 35 seconds of penalties over the five stages. So, I mean, do with my advice as you will, but shooting your balloons will help a lot, definitely.
I definitely learned that in Vegas this year because keeping it clean, even though we were not very fast, it really helped us to maintain consistency in the standings, which was great. And then, of course, the clean shooter check. If you can't win your class, the clean shooter check is always a nice consolation prize.
Especially ever since they brought out these balloon machines. I love the balloon machines. I think they're the most professional thing the sport ever did. I'm all for the balloon machines. And ever since they came out, though, people just seem to overthink it and stretch it. I mean, I know the men's sixth class, I don't think any of us missed because we were trying to, like, we were overthinking the balloon machines. We were simply trying to lay down the same line as the first man who ran in our class, and that first guy happened to be Zane, who took a 35-foot bomb on number one on stage two. So when eight of us go out trying to do that right after he did it, and we all miss, yeah, it's just it's a show. But
What do you think of the new patterns?
I like them most. I mean, I'm all for the fast shooting. Any stage after the chair, I would have said anything with like the eliminator pattern out there, the gate single gate. I love that stage because
Mhm.
you get to run in there going as fast as you can. The fast five, the barrel pattern, all of those, I love. I love all of them. I've only gotten to run probably three of the new patterns, but I looked at them when they came out on that Facebook post, and I think I'm gonna like them all. I really don't look at a stage and be like, oh, I don't like this one. There's one stage. I don't know the name of it or the number, but there's one stage. It has like a barrel on the right side. It's kind of a V, and you got to make a hard left turn. And there's another barrel in the top left corner of the arena. Hate that stage. Always will. Can't get over that one. But any other stage, I really don't like think about it badly. I guess
Mhm.
I'm not really like, oh, I'm not gonna like this one. I know my horses have the ability to do all of it, so I kind of try to stay confident.
What are your balloon poppers of choice and why? No, you're fine.
How when did it cut out? I my phone just totally disconnected and said gone.
I think you had just said that you were shooting tailors and then you
Oh,
disappeared.
okay. Yeah, are we ready then? Do I roll right into
I
it?
can just I'll start with the question again just to
Yeah.
make sure because I
So
don't
you
know
can
how much
edit.
it recorded.
Then you
Yeah.
can edit easier too.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. What are your balloon poppers of choice and why?
So I shoot Colts. I actually ended up shooting them on accident. I was shooting Taylors for the longest time, and I think out of my 6 years of shooting, I think I used them two and a half of my 6 years. And I was shooting them, and all of a sudden, I was at Elkhart. I was at Elkhart, Iowa, for Border Wars, I think is what it was. There was like two different clubs holding a shoot there, and I had them fall apart. I don't actually remember what happened to them, to be honest with you, but they fell apart. And so my dad had this pair of Colts. My dad shoot Colts. My dad is a big gun guy, so he's into having nice guns. He had an extra pair of Colts, and it was the only extra pair that we had laying around. And it had the same action job as what my Taylors had. So I was like, well, I'll use them for this shoot. And he was like, yep, and they're expensive. So after the shoot, you're going to give them back and we're going to get you something else or we're going to get your tailors fixed or something. Well, I never gave them back. I actually ended up loving them. There is a lot of people now. I know Trey Casperson just got some. I know Brett Brakowski shoots some. I know that Dylan shoots some. Zane shoots some. They're starting to pop up, and I mean I love that. I mean I think they're really cool guns. I am no gunsmith. I don't really know. I know they're high quality guns. I know they're expensive. I don't know if that makes them great or not. I just know that I can shoot mine really fast, and so that's all I'm really worried about.
I never even knew this was a thing. I can't remember who I interviewed that first told me about the Colt thing, and now it's on my list of things to have, which this sport, I tell you, it seriously drains your bank account.
I got the jump start on all the hard stuff with the parents, thankfully.
This was a question that came to me yesterday. So it's a question I hadn't prepared you for, but you're at the top of your game right now. What does a week of training look like for someone at the top of their game? And this is both horse and human training.
So, more so for me, I know everyone trains differently, but for me, I focus way more on the riding aspect than the shooting aspect. When in season and I don't have stuff going on, I'm traveling enough. I mean, if I'm going to a shoot one every 2 weeks and I'm shooting 10 stages over 2 days or more, a lot of the time more for me, I really don't see the need to practice the shooting. Now, that is not everyone. There's a lot of people. Taryn is the complete opposite. Taryn will practice a lot and she does a lot better that way. Me and Taryn are two completely different shooters. I believe that what will make you a great shooter and what will make you better in the pattern, because at the end of the day, shooting the guns is the smallest amount. I mean, it's what can cause you the most trouble. It's what's going to get you the most penalties. It's your main risk. I mean, everything is a risk in the sport, but you can get a like the ammo and the guns, or you can get a high primer. You can miss, you can drop them. They're what's going to get you the most penalties, but they're also the smallest amount of what's going to get you a fast time. What's going to get you the faster time is you and your horse and your mind. So I believe that if you want to be great in the sport, you have to be confident in yourself. When I got to a six, I was not confident in myself, and I was like, you walk into an arena as a six, when you walk into a loading pen and you look ahead and you see world champion, world champion, world champion, Eastern champion, Western champion, world champion, Winters champion, 4-time world champion. This guy's won 3 majors. It's intimidating. I still to this day would like to consider myself as one of the faster guys in the sport, but I've never won a major. Every time I have held it together, Zane is ahead of me. For some reason, I cannot just catch the guy. There's so much that goes into the sport, but I believe that riding is a huge part of it. You have to be confident in yourself on your horse, though. Your horse is what's going to clock you the time, and your mind is what's going to tell you if you can connect with your horse. That's why me and Nick Knack we were never the fastest. We were not fast at all, but we could turn on the dime, and I was really connected with him. If I can be 18 feet away from this balloon, roughly. I'm not going to sit here and be like, I have to be 18 on the dot. But it was like, if I can be 18 to 20 and take a long shot here so I can wrap this balloon and be that much farther away from that one, you can only do that and be that precise if you're with your horse. You and your horse have to be connected. So if you're not connected with your horse, that's never going to happen. So in my opinion, it all comes down to the riding. You have to ride your horse a lot. You have to want it. My mom was huge on me. I used to be so lazy. I'm going to be so honest. I used to be lazy. And my mom was like, I would ride a horse at 6 a.m. before school, if not 2. And then I'd come home and I would ride until 8 o'clock at night. And then I would get up and I would go do my homework, go to sleep, wake up, repeat. You have to want it. You have to focus on it. Working with high class people. I mean, a lot of mounted shooting is understanding lines, understanding where you can make up time, lose time. Even at the lower levels, what you do in the pattern will make your time. People wise, something I used to do, and I don't know if this is still a thing or not, but my mom had me do this. I actually would set up a solo cup on like a table, and we had these like bouncy balls, and I would, like, my mom made me do this as a kid. I would be jumping up and down on the bouncy ball, and I had to hold my arm out and straight, and I had to fire the gun without hitting the solo cup. The barrel of the gun is in the solo cup, and
Mm-hmm.
you can't hit it. And that just kind of taught me to shoot with my arm straight. There's so much that could go into it. I mean, I could sit down and talk about mounted shooting for 6 hours. I love the sport. I love what goes into it. When practicing at home, though, never practice a pattern you're comfortable with. I always did that. I always would run like the T or something I'm comfortable with. Do something that would challenge you really hard, something that you don't want to do, and learn to like it. And when you can do that, and then you can go to a shoot and you can be that much more confident in yourself, I think you'll get farther. After college, you best believe when I get done with college, I'm going to be working, but I'm going to be writing every day because, like I said, I still have not won a major and I really want to do that. So I plan on working and practicing and getting to that point so I can do that.
This is a question that I ask a lot of people that come on the podcast, but what's a little known fact about you? Because, of course, we know about the mounted shooting and we know about a lot of the stuff that you post on social media. Is there something that you haven't told us?
I'm really into like bowling and all that stuff.
It was funny to see all of the bowlers at the South Point in Vegas. We had the bodybuilding competition along with the mounted shoot, along with bowling.
Another little known fact about me is I'm a talker. I went up to a bodybuilder at Vegas and I was like, dude, what do you bench? And he was like, like 450. And I was like, I remember when I started. I'm all about just like joking around with people, giving them a hard time. It's never serious and I should never be taken seriously because that is not the case. I am not a very serious person. I am a talker. I'm all about giving people a hard time and just I like making people laugh or trying to at least. And sometimes it fails really bad.
So you've accomplished so much already. What is next for you?
So I'm really excited to go to college. Double majoring in accounting and egg business. I'm gonna do that for a long time here, and then I also will be working for Aligned Egg throughout that process, and then I'll be shooting in the summers, and I'm gonna try and get back into it every summer. I'm not sure how good I'm gonna be since I won't be riding here for a while, but that's definitely in the future is shooting. I would like to go. I love going to that Fourth of July shoot in Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
So that one, Joe's, and Vegas are my three that I'm kind of eyeing down for the next 4 years. Hopefully, get to two of the three of them every year. And I don't really know what else is in store, to be honest. That's all I've got planned, at least. I would love to sneak away to Worlds too. I got to figure out how. If I can sneak away for even just 1 to 2 days and fly down to Worlds and just even hang out, even if I don't shoot. I just like being around the sport. I like talking to the people.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. It has been such a pleasure talking to you.
Anytime.
I'm so glad that I finally caught up with Turner, and I wish him all the best as he goes to college. He has got a bright future, that's for sure. If there are balloon killers you would like to hear interviewed, please email me on balloonkillers@gmail.com. That's balloonkillers, all one word, @gmail.com.